If you're like most professionals, you're pretty aware of your weaknesses and you try hard to improve yourself. What if I told you that approach is actually blocking you from real success? In this video, I'll show you exactly why a focus on your weaknesses is sabotaging you. And I'll give you 5 options that top executives use to stay in their success zone. Before I dive into the story, let me share what's possible when you finally see clearly where you operate best. Bill is a client of mine. He was a great team leader, the kind that brought the best out in his people, but he was trapped in a role that crushed creativity and a boss that demanded him to keep pressuring his people. The harder he worked, the closer he got to burnout. But then he got clear on his real strengths and he changed roles. Same person, same effort, totally different result. Now he and his team are thriving and meeting all their deadlines. Hey, I learned this myself in my own career. I found that when I have to execute too many administrative details, it drives me crazy and I make a lot of mistakes. When I kept my work more people and idea focused and found systems to automate routine tasks, I do better work and I make a much better impact. Now, let me tell you about Alexandra. She was at a director level, but she wasn't very good at leading strategic conversations. And when she tried to, she just kind of didn't get it. And she found it very draining. She was getting frustrated. The vice president she reported to was getting frustrated as well. So they sent her to me for coaching. And after we got talking and looked at her talent profile, it was clear that strategic thinking just doesn't come naturally to her. And she felt like she was trying to drive a car on an empty gas tank, barely running on fumes. Now, it's almost impossible for someone who doesn't naturally think strategically to change their pattern of thinking. So instead, we identified that one of her core strengths was spotting talent in other people and inviting them to be included in discussions. So we leveraged that and said, hey, instead of trying to be the strategic thinker, which you're not, why don't you identify the people who are the strategic thinkers and invite them to the party, meaning the strategic leadership discussions? Well, she did that and had a lot more success. She went from running on empty to being supercharged on a full tank because she got to use what comes naturally to her. She was energized. She still accomplished the goal, which was getting more strategic discussions going, but she did it in a much smarter way. Now, Alexandra's story teaches a few things. First, when you focus on your weaknesses, the areas where you lack talent, it's draining and you're not doing your best work. You have a much better chance of success if you know and leverage your strengths. Well, how do you get clear on your strengths? Well, first, take an assessment like Gallup Clifton Strengths or Working Genius. Second, you get feedback from a caring mentor. Or to get really clear, check out my masterclass, Align with Your Design, in the link below. Second, if a weakness is getting in the way of your performance, yes, you need to address it. You can't just ignore it. Smart executives, however, spend about 75% of their self-improvement efforts on their strengths and 25% on the weaknesses that are getting in the way. Now, her boss realized that this was getting in the way of Alexandra's progress, so her boss referred her to me to help address it. Now, third, we found a great strategy for Alexandra to use, which is just one of the 5 that I'm going to share with you now. So when you're faced with a task that's a weakness and it's draining you, consider these 5 options. The first, just don't do it. Okay. If you touch this thing, if you try to do it, you're going to make a mess. You don't do good work doing it. If at all possible, just stay away from it. We'll all be happier. Okay. Second, try harder. Okay. Sometimes you can't just escape the things that aren't pleasant. Sometimes you just need to lean in, put your big boy pants on and develop some skills and just press into it. That's where you grow. The third option is to leverage tools and systems. This is where you can use technology, apps, habit formation, different routines to help supplement the areas where you're not naturally good. The fourth is the most effective strategy, and that's to borrow this talent from someone else. Okay, find someone else who's good at this and collaborate with them. If you have the ability, delegate something to them. Enlist someone into your project, or if you have the ability to hire someone. This is effective because it builds teamwork and it helps to supplement areas where you're not great. And the fifth strategy is to pivot and use a strength you are good at to help accomplish the same goal. That's what Alexandra did. Now, if you're an IT manager, you're tired of being overlooked and taken advantage of, I want to help you make this same kind of transformation. I've created an online masterclass called Align with Your Design that will walk you through a proven framework step by step in order to get the success you deserve. Click the link in the description below. And hey, if this video opened your eyes to a different way of thinking about your career, hit that subscribe button. I share strategies like this every week. Remember, your skills got you where you are now, but changing your mindset will determine where you go next.